Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. You are onto the Civilized Presence. You are in the right place at the right time. Thank you so much for joining. Just give us a minute for Facebook to get this video visible for everyone. Good morning,
Joining us.
guys. Thank you so much. Just give us 1 second. Hello, hello. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. I'm so sorry that we're just a few minutes late. Good morning. And if you're here, just kind of leave a hello in the box below. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining. I'm just trying to share this video on Theresa's page just so that other people can see it from her platform. Perfect. There you go. Good morning, Eller. Thank you so much for joining from Virginia. Thank you. Hello, Esther from Nigeria. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Ben. Thank you from Ghana. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you for all your support. Good morning. Good morning. I am so excited to be here with you guys. Yes, it took a couple of minutes, but we're here. We're here. We're going to make it happen. We're going to have fun right now. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Just 1 second. I'm just trying to make sure that everything. Yes, good morning. Good morning, Ella. Thank you. Um, if you can see the video, guys, just let us know by giving us a thumbs up. Just let us know that you can see us. So, welcome everyone, and you're onto the Civilized Presence. Thank you so much for joining. We are usually here every Mondays and Fridays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. But today is a special day. We have a special session. Good morning. Thank you so much. I can see a lot of people jumping on, but please leave your name. Just say hello in the comment box below. I want to be able to mention your name and treat you as a VIP because you're one, right? Thank you for making out time to hang out with us right here in the Civilized Presence. Just give us 1 second. We're almost there. Perfect. Yes, good morning. So, if it is your very first time, this is the Civilized Presence, and this is a Facebook series that we run every Mondays and Fridays. And the main focus of the series really is to help restore civility through meaningful conversation. Now, guys, we started this from the month of April 26th to be very precise. And guess what? Today is session number 49. 49. I am so grateful to God that this has come this far. We've been paddling along. Sometimes we've had 2 sessions in a day, sometimes one. So just stay glued on and, you are going to have fun with us. We're about to get this party started. I have someone that is very special in our session today, and you're going to get to know her. So this is the Civilized Presence. I know that some people are not used to this timing for us, but and some of you were already here before we started. Hello, David. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Kebini. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Hello, Susan from Canada. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Olar from London, UK. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we're a bit late, but we're here. And the message is great for this morning. So I would advise that you kind of grab your piece of paper, a pen, and get a drink. Get a cup of coffee or a drink. I have my coconut water this morning. I just need some energy to be able to get things going. So thank you for being here. So like I said, this is session number 49, and I am so excited. Now, some of you have never met me before, and if that's the case, my name is Louisa Akaiso, and I am a certified master civility trainer, a golden rule civility statesman, and a leadership expert. And if you want to know what I do, I work confidently with leaders and professionals that place great importance in themselves and their reputation. And that's going to be you this morning. Because guess what? You woke up on a Saturday morning to hang out with me. That means so much to me. Thank you. Now, even if I haven't mentioned your name, is just because you're probably not on my personal page, so I cannot see your name, but I can see that you're on the screen. And I just want to let you know that I really do appreciate you for making out time to be here. And I love you very much. So, the topic of the day, guys, I don't know how many of you had seen the flyers. Hello, Dee from Virginia. Thank you so much for just joining us. Um, it's so great to have you. I know that some of you had come at 9:30 and sent me messages and said, "What is going on?" Yes, we're here now. Okay, that's okay. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but you were on my mind and we were trying to bring this live to you. Now, we talked about what was the focus of our Facebook series, really to help restore civility. And some of you might be saying, Louisa, what is civility? And I'm going to share that with you. But it was very important that we create a forum and a platform where we teach people how important and easy it is for them to be civil. And you can begin with tiny little things like saying please and thank you, or good morning, or even share a compliment, just like I'm going to do right now to Theresa. And I said, Theresa, you look amazing this morning. Thank you so much for being here. So sharing a compliment, it's a great way to be civil, because civility really is focused on positive people's treatment. It's all about taking responsibility of easing the experience of the person next to you or whoever that you come across in your day. So just before we continue, I'm going to share with you the definition of civility. And I have chosen one from Civility Experts International, which I'm an affiliate with, which states that civility is a conscious awareness of the impact of one's thoughts, actions, words, and intentions on others, combined with a continuous acknowledgement of one's responsibility to ease the experience of others. Example, through restraint, kindness, non-judgment, respect and courtesy, and a consistent effort to adopt and exhibit civil behavior as a non-negotiable point of one's character. So now I know you're saying, Louisa, that's a mouthful. Yes, it is. But one thing that I needed to take away from this session is that civility is focused on positive people's treatment, learning to pay attention to the person next to you. Apologize earnestly if you have to, okay? And refrain from idle complaints. So those tiny little things, trust me, is what makes you civil. At least it's a beginning place. If you have never been civil before and you're sitting there and saying, Louisa, but I don't even know what all of this is all about. I've never done it before. Guys, it is not too late to begin. You can begin today by tiny little things. And some of you, I don't know how many of you have, are familiar with the person who even lives next door, even your neighbor. Some of us have never said hello to our neighbors before. So today is probably going to be your first day. So as soon as you get done with the session, please go and say hello to your neighbor. Just tell them that you care so much about them, okay? Thank you so much. So before we continue, I know that you're asking, the question on your mind is, who is the beautiful lady who's sitting right in front of us? Her name is Theresa Davis, and I'm going to just read to you a little bit from her bio. And Theresa is an executive director with the John Maxwell team. And I'm a part of the John Maxwell team. So I'm so happy that Theresa is here because the JMT DNA is right here in the house. Yes. So she's certified to facilitate, speak, train, and coach individuals and groups in the areas of leadership development, professional skills, and personal growth. She is known for being innovative and progressive in the development of youth development curriculum. So she has different programs. She's also the founder of two family service companies that facilitate court-ordered child supervision services, along with multiple other families and supported services. She's also the co-founder of a new not-for-profit NMESHD that incorporates music literacy and leadership in after-school programs. Most recently, she accepted the award of 2016-2017 Women of the Year by the Association of Professional Business Women. Okay. In addition to this, she's been a foster parent for over 20 years. And so I just want to say, Theresa, it's such an honor to work with you this morning. So just take a minute to just say hello to our audience, Theresa.
Well, good morning. First, thank you so much for having me on your show. Indeed a true honor, and I've been following you for quite some time, and you're just tremendous and amazing. And yes, everybody listen to her, get to know your neighbors. I know everybody for 2 blocks around my house because I think it's important for the
Wow.
connection.
Wow. Thank you so much, Teresa. Thank you. Hello, James. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, Steve. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, Gamartu. I'm sorry if I pronounced the name right or wrong, but I just want you to know that I care so much about you and I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you. We're having people jumping in from different parts of the world. Teresa,
Wonderful.
we have such a global audience, and this is such an important topic that everyone wants to learn about. So I am so excited. So for those of you who didn't get a chance to see the flyer of the day, the topic of today is civility and differently abled and gifted people. I think those are the most important people in the world. And so it touches my heart, and it just makes me so happy and kind of like just energizes me to be able to work with this special, wonderful people that God has blessed us with. Now, the first thing that we would do, Teresa, usually is to share, pass on questions, and we begin the conversation. And as we go on, we would have sometimes we have a question or two from the audience, and I will be happy to pass it on to you. So, my first question to you would be, Teresa, what does civility mean to you? Over to you, Teresa.
I think it's courtesy and behavior. It's respecting um, if they're specially gifted or not. It's just respecting one another.
Mm, mm. That is powerful. So, civility, like Teresa has just defined it for us, is focused on respect. And guys, if you've been following me for quite some time, you would remember that we had a session that was talking about the 3 R's of civility, and that was respect, responsibility, and restraint. So you're right on, Teresa. You see, you have been civil all your life. Seriously, because you
Try to
got it
be.
on.
It's our
Absolutely.
responsibility. It's our responsibility to be kind to one
Absolutely.
another. And I can't imagine
Absolutely.
being anything else.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Hello, James from Virginia. Thank you so much for jumping on and just being here with us. Hello, Kemini. Thank you so much. And guys, just let us know where you're joining us from, because some of us are my regular viewers, and there's a lot of new people that join us every time. Each session has new and unique people join us. And so I just want you to know that I really do appreciate you. Hello, Eman Hajir. Thank you so much for being here. I hope I got that right. But just say hello in the comment box below and let us know where you're joining us from this morning. Thank you so much. So, Theresa, my next question to you would be, how can we show civility and kindness towards people that are differently abled? Because you have a great experience and organizations that work for or with the differently abled people. What are the best ways, and just explain to our audience the best ways that we can show civility and kindness towards these people? Over to you, Theresa.
Well, I think that's a little bit of a loaded question. I think you would want to be kind to everyone, no matter what their ability
Mm,
happens to be. But if you see, say, someone that's in a scooter or wheelchair, and they're coming to, say, a door of a building, I usually ask if I can open the door. Now, I don't
mm,
assume that they cannot open the door because I wouldn't want to offend them.
mm,
Or
mm,
I'll say, "Oh, let me get that for you." Or
mm,
it's just being kind and being respectful. And um, I encourage the younger generation to ask questions if they're um, just not, instead of staring, just ask. Go be
mm,
friendly and say, "Oh, my name is so and so.
mm,
I see you have a wheelchair." It just,
mm.
I think it just opens the conversation.
That's true.
You know, I happened to have this happen just the other day. I was at at a restaurant, and a guy came up in a wheelchair, and everybody stood around, didn't want to open the door. Once we opened the door, he got in, and he wasn't able to maneuver in the restaurant, and
Wow.
not a person moved. And I asked, "Can I move the table for you so you can get on through?" And in doing that, I noticed he had a Vietnam veterans hat on. I said, "Oh, were you in Vietnam?" And he said, "Yes, I was." And
Mm.
I turned to him and I shook his hand. I said, "Thank you for your service." I think that's important, to recognize him for
Mm.
what he's given to us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Teresa. Hello, Ladonia. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, Akuswa. Hi, sis. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. And just jump in the comment box below, guys, and just say hello. Especially hello to our guest today, our special guest, Teresa Davis. Hello. Thank you so much, Ladonia. It's always such a pleasure to have you in the house. Now, guys, I want you to know the topic of today is civility and the differently abled people. See, the society has mislabeled some of these individuals, that have unique circumstances as disabled. And now there's one thing that I want you to learn from this session. Do not ever, refer to anyone as disabled again, because I don't know what your definition of disability is. They are just unique. They're just different. They are still the same people. And sometimes, we find out that these people have a great potential, great capabilities. And this is why we're sharing this morning in the Civilized Presence, because civility is focused on positive people's treatment. And so there is a need for us to treat each other the way that we want to be treated. Okay, every time that you come across someone who is differently abled, ask yourself, the treatment that I'm giving to this person, if she was to do the same thing, how would I feel about it? Okay, so if civility is something you're still struggling with, then don't forget the golden rule, because it's always easy. When you have to back off for a minute and ask yourself that question. And of course, the hard truth will show up, because that's not a question that we love to ask ourselves, if that's how I want to be treated. So I want to encourage all of us. Some of us might have people in our homes, in our families, that are differently able, or you might not have. That's okay. But when you do see them on the street, if you have them in your schools, in your offices, treat them with kindness. Show that extra step of love. Stretch out your hand to help. Like Theresa said, if they wanted to get in a building, offer to do something. It doesn't mean that they cannot do it, but just offer to do that, because, everything that we talk about and discuss here every Monday and Friday is really focusing on trying to ease the experience of the person next to you. Do you know how they would feel if they had to be in an elevator with you and you just tried to open up the door and hold it down for them to get in, and not try to shut it down when they're trying to get in the elevator? Some people are just so much in a hurry. So I want to believe that we don't have those kind of people online today. But if you were ever like that, I want you to go back with a new mindset. I want you to go back with a new way of thinking, to embrace the specially abled people, to embrace them and see them as yourself. If you cannot be good to them, then don't be bad to them. Okay? If you cannot say something good to them, keep quiet. Don't say anything bad to them. Be nice to them. Try to show kindness. Say good morning. Try to introduce yourself. You don't know how their day has been. And so it's important that we try to embrace them even more than we ever have done before. So my next question for you, Theresa, would be, oftentimes, a lot of people would say, yes, I respect people who live with special needs. But you know what? They lack the training and the experience in many cases, especially if some of them do not have anyone in their homes. So they might lack the know-how, they might lack the skills, they might lack, the steps or what to say. Can you just guide our audience,
Sure.
being someone who has worked with a lot of these people, and just try to elaborate, what do you have to say about this? What's the best way to go about this? Over to you, Theresa.
I find that question very interesting, because if someone says that they lack the training, my question to them would be, I don't understand the word training because people that are specially gifted want to be treated like everybody else. They have the
Mm,
same desires and wants as we do.
mm,
But just be kind. Just be
mm,
kind. Ask questions.
mm,
Many specially able people want that engagement with you and want, find a common bond. I have a couple of specially gifted young men in my home,
mm.
and you just find that common denominator and start from there, and things will naturally fall into place. Yeah, it might be awkward, but it's just like talking to the new neighbor.
Mm,
You just have to establish that connection
mm.
and just follow the golden rule. Just be kind and respectful. So I don't think you need training or experience because you'll learn as you go along.
That's true. Okay.
And
Thank you.
don't I think that using the word training to some people is equates with fear. They feel like they
Mm,
need to be trained just to help someone out or um, offer assistance.
mm.
Oftentimes they'll say, "Okay, I'll need help with this." So I think they bundle the word training or experience with
Mm,
I'm afraid to help them because I might do it wrong.
mm.
And
That's
you
correct.
may, you may, but it'll
Hmm.
be a learning experience. And I'm sure the person that is needing the assistance will be grateful that someone took the time to try.
Mm, mm. Absolutely. And it's so good to hear this from you because you have so much experience being around them. And I think it's very important for the society to learn this. Ladonia just said honoring humanity. That's correct, Ladonia. It's very important for us to see them as ourselves, okay? And embrace them, show them love. Show them love. It's very important, that you show them love wherever that you find them. They just need love. I'm sure that if you try to have a conversation with them, the first thing they would need is for you to really care about them. I mean, for someone like me, I need love. I need love everywhere I go. So it just feels good to know that people care about you. It feels good. It's really just going to lessen whatever that you're going through at that point. Just knowing that people do care about you. Just knowing that someone is there to give you a helping hand if you needed that. Now, Theresa, another question that I have for you is, I know all of the work that you're doing, such great work. And first of all, I just want to say you are doing such an amazing work advocating for these people, and just working with them and just taking on all of the burden and just doing it like this is you. Can you share a little bit to our audience and maybe someone can learn something? Because right now in our audience, I have a lot of people who are in the health field and some people from the health homes that are online that I can see. Can you share something with them about what you're doing, about the projects and your initiative and what you're doing? And maybe someone can be encouraged to do the same thing over here. Over to you, Theresa.
Well, thank you. First, it's not a burden. It's actually an honor because I get
Great.
so much more than what I give.
Mm,
Um, there's so many different things I like to have my hands in, whether it is, Special Olympics or
mm,
I help out with the local unions in the area to help with funding for even our caregivers because um, they the state and the local counties want to cut funding for the caregivers. So if say you're caring for your disabled daughter and you can't have a standard 8 to 5 job because the child needs, toileting, etc.
mm,
Our states want to limit that, saying we shouldn't have to pay you to care for your child, but yet they don't see the big picture. If you um, put them in a home, it would cost the state so much more.
mm,
Um, but I help out wherever I feel I'm needed. It's not just one project. It's a ongoing um, area because in the city I live in, we have a lot of mental health issues amongst our children, whether it is the trauma of being in foster care or some sort of physical ailment. So it's not one particular area I work in all the time. I just wherever God leads me to work,
Mm,
I do. So I balance several. Like right now with the unions and working with a particular school right now where about 30% of the population are foster care
mm,
children, and they come with all kind of traumas and uh, ignored abilities, and they came from environments where they were not nurtured.
mm.
So it's an ongoing thing.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you. And guys, I can see some people jumping on again, but I cannot see you directly. Please pardon me. If you just say hello in the comment box, and I would be able to mention your name. But I just want you to know that I really do appreciate you making out time to be here. So moving along, Stephen Carter quotes that civility has two parts. Okay, that generosity when it is costly and trust even when there is a risk. So, choosing to be civil requires you to give your time, your resources, attention, kindness, and respect with no expectation in return. And now I find that something that we struggle with a lot of times is being able to give out our resources, our time, our respect, our kindness with nothing in return. It's something that a lot of people struggle with. So now, when we think about working with the differently abled people, guys, I want you to think about human kindness. So, human kindness is treating them with a lot of care and respect and being kind to them because they are human. Okay? Do not expect anything in return because that person might not have anything to give to you, but be ready to share your resources. Like Theresa has just shared with us, with all of the work that she does with different people, different groups of people, with foster kids, with the mentally ill people. All of us do have those people around us. What are you doing? How are you contributing to their lives? You have people in your community that live with these challenges. And how are you helping them? So I want us to leave this session today with the mindset of being able to do something. Ask yourself, go back and reflect on what we're doing and just say, you know what? I learned something in the session today. How can I use what I just learned? How can I give out my time? How can I give out my services? Or I do not have time. I am working 9 to 8. That's okay. But maybe your resources can go a long way. Are there people who need that? Maybe they might just need someone to take them to therapy. Maybe they just need someone to drive them to the doctors. Something. Okay. I find that a lot of times we hear about people just hanging in their homes because they don't have enough medical vans to come pick them up. That shouldn't be the case. If you do have a neighbor who has that problem, why not try to say, you know what? I can drop you off today. How cool is that? And we can do it. Okay. We can hold hands together. And this is why we're sharing this message of hope today, that beginning from today, as you go back home, hold hands together. Try to do the things that seemed so difficult, the things that you've never done before, the things that seem like you cannot do it. Try to take those intentional steps. It's not going to be very easy at the first time. Like Theresa said, you learn from experience. Okay, just try to stretch out your hand. And Theresa, I have another question for you. And before I share that question, for those that are just jumping on, you were on to the Civilized Presence and you are in the right place. And we are sharing about civility and the differently abled people. Now, if you do have a question concerning this topic, please leave it in the comment box below because Theresa is in the house and she's an expert that has been working with these people for several years and she would be able to answer those questions for you. So leave it in the comment box below, because we're almost running to the end of the session. I don't want to keep her too long. And Theresa had to be here so early in the morning. Theresa, thank you so much for that sacrifice, for being here with me to share this message to our audience. So our final question for you, Theresa, today would be, I understand that there is a lack of resource support and funding for disability programs and homes. And this is quite alarming. So please shed some light to our audience. How can they be of help? How can we pass on this message to the government or people in authorities? What kind of support should be in place to make things easier? Over to you, Theresa.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to reflect back to talking about the unions and the caregivers of the especially able people. Are they pay the caregivers minimum wage? Now, I
Mm,
don't know about anybody else, but you can't survive on minimum wage.
mm,
Some of the caregivers have given up good government jobs
mm,
because they haven't been resourced in a place that could care for their child or their relative.
mm,
So even giving a minimum wage to me is an insult, because it's a hard job taking care of someone who can't use the facilities by themselves and
that's
need
right.
24-hour care. And
Mm,
actually, they're not even paid for 24-hour care. They're given a maximum, I believe, of 66 hours a week of care.
wow.
Now,
Wow.
that's again, that's an insult. And even
Mm,
if we help pass legislation to up it to a living wage, that would be helpful. Right now in our county, our supervisors are complaining because our county contributes 18 cents. That's it. And they want to take away the 18 cents from the caregivers, which completely offends me, because if that child was in a rest home, they would be paying 5 to 10,000 a month out of the local um, state money. So
mm,
why is 18 cents such a big deal?
mm,
The parent doesn't want to. It's an honor for them to care for their child or
mm,
their relative. Why are we shortchanging? Because we all pay our taxes, so it's not like they're taking from something that they've never contributed to.
right.
And I can guarantee that if one of our local supervisors, they had a relative in the same situation, they would do the exact same thing. What one supervisor brought up that, oh, well, he pays for his mother to be in a rest home because she's specially able. But come to find out, the state Medicare pays for her, and then Medi-Cal pays the supplement. So really, he
Mm,
pays nothing.
mm,
So my question to him again, so you're really costing the state, you know, 15 to 20,000 a month, and you're not willing to give a family member 18 cents. So um, I think it's just the best way you can help is to write your local legislator and be a part of the change.
mm,
And I think this is all about getting back to kindness and respect. We're not respecting the caregivers, um, because at the end of the day, they have to eat and provide for the person that they're caring for, whether it's financially or the day-to-day living. So it all wraps around to kindness and courtesy in our behavior. And I
wow.
don't think it's very kind that we spend so much money on things that you know I won't say helping other countries or the military. Our government has a lot of wasteful spending, no matter how you look at it.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm,
why don't we empower and go back to the caregivers and ask them, or have the
Mm-hmm.
government ask them, how can we support you?
Yes.
And create programs based on what the needs are and not what the legislators think they might be.
Mm.
And just empower the caregivers with a voice. And I think that's part of my mission is, they are real people. Their jobs are very hard.
Mm.
Um, and most people don't want to do it. They throw it off on other people.
Mm.
So I encourage everyone to have a voice in this, and because everybody knows somebody that's especially abled or elderly, or it's a hard job and it's a thankless job in many respects. So let's encourage our government to redirect some of our funding to
Mm.
help, whether it's, in-home support services, or creating more senior programs, or programs for kids in foster care,
Mm-hmm.
um, for the developmentally especially gifted young people. There are not enough programs, not enough sports programs, not enough things to engage them.
Mm.
So I think it's about re-educating our governments from the local on up to state and federal.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Theresa, for sharing that. Hello, Beth. Thank you so much for joining us from Kenya. Yes, we are talking about civility and differently abled people. And Theresa, that was such a powerful contribution that you just made, and just putting a light on why it's so important for us to not just take care of those people, but also for the caregivers. It's very important. And I am just going to use this opportunity to shout out to all the caregivers. Hey, thumbs up. Any of you that is watching, you are doing an amazing job. And I want you to know that we are right behind you, and we care so much about you. And we believe that the message will continue. And this is why my new mantra is, we cannot stop. I can't stop, and I won't stop. We're going to continue to share this message until it gets to who needs the message. We're not about stopping, because there's so much that has to be done. And this is why we're using a forum such as this one to bring people together and just educate people on how to behave, and what to do next, and what is important, where to kind of apportion your funds to. Okay, we kind of spent money sometimes on the not so good things, and we're not using our funds in the right places. So we have to go back into the healthcare. Can you imagine someone who is living with special needs and cannot enjoy good services or good care? That's going to be really traumatic. It's not going to be a great experience for them. So let's think about where they go to their homes, the food that they eat, their caregivers, the medications and health care. All of that is very important. Okay. And so Theresa is doing a lot of work, and she cannot do it alone, guys. She cannot do it alone. She needs all of us. If we could have a Theresa in every state in the world, can you imagine how great the world will be? If we could have people get up and just take on responsibility and say, you know what, I want to work with these people, because let me tell you, you actually benefit more when you do this. You benefit more. You feel so fulfilled and satisfied that you're honoring and working and supporting people who are not able to do it themselves. So I want to encourage all of you that, you know what? Yes, Beth, join me in my new mantra. We can't stop, and we won't stop. We have to keep going. Wherever that you see someone in need, stretch out your hand to do it. Do not look for something in return. Okay. That's not the first basis of doing these things. Do it. Just do it. Do it like you would do it for yourself. Treat them the way that you want to be treated. And Theresa, I just have just one more question for you, one more before you go. Now, there is something that I notice a lot of times, is traveling with people with special needs. Oh my goodness, it can be very challenging. And, it's important that people understand that you can just give them 1 second, pay attention to them.
Mhm.
Sometimes you find people with their 2 feet and there's someone in the wheelchair and you're struggling to go before them. Are you serious? Like
Yeah.
1 second is not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's so difficult for them to do certain things. They might have someone supporting them, but it's still very difficult even to get them maybe to sit in a chair and things like that. It takes a couple of extra minutes from
Mhm.
you who is able to do it by yourself. And so, you look at traveling with people who are differently abled, sometimes it can be like hell. And I know that you have a lot of experience with that. So I just wanted to speak to our audience because that bothers me so much. Sometimes in the airport and there's a queue and people are just trying to step on them. And I said, where are you going? For God's sake.
Mhm.
Or sometimes they need something. Probably there's a queue in the bank and they want to go before them.
Mhm.
Sometimes this is insane. But I'm going to excuse them before today that they did not know about my program. Now, guys, I have spoken about it, so we have to change. So, Teresa, just shed some light on why this is so important, to just kind of pay attention to them. Maybe
Mhm.
they're saying something. Listen to them. You might have to just bend a little bit and just listen to what they have to say. And please just encourage our audience. Over to you, Teresa.
Well, I think it's even down to, I see those folks that park in the handicap spot. Don't park there. Um, it just takes a moment to help somebody. And it's really, for me, it's rewarding. And I've actually experienced being on the other end of it when I was stuck in a wheelchair at the airport with no help and I couldn't walk. And
Mm.
so I got to see, the other end of it. But give people space and time and your efforts. I think
Mm.
it goes back to, once you want someone to help you. Um, yeah, and for those who are traveling with young people, make sure that it's an appropriate area that you're going to, and call the hotel and make sure that they have everything that you need for your trip. When I'm traveling with some of the young men that live with me, I call ahead. I said, these are my needs. Can you fill it? And I need access to these things. So ask questions. And I've been out to where I used to be the transportation for a group of especially gifted basketball players. If you know I had up to 10 of them at one time, and if I need help, excuse me, can you help me? I'm not
Mm.
afraid to ask for help. But in return, if I see someone, a parent or someone that's struggling, may I help you? What can I do for you? Do I need to go get something? But I also have a voice when I see someone stepping in front of somebody or mistreating somebody at the store or giving them the wrong change, or, I think it's about human decency and kindness.
Mm. Mm.
I'm not going to allow someone else to uh, disrespect somebody. I'll usually butt in and say, excuse me, is there a problem? How can I help? And I would appreciate if you show somebody some human kindness.
Mm. Mm.
Everybody gets frustrated, everybody gets in a hurry. Just breathe a little and take those extra steps. I think it's our responsibility as humans
Mm.
to help one another. So we just have to, I don't think there are no lines for me.
Mm. Mm.
If I see another parent that needs help, I'm going to, try to engage the child or and let them, oh, I can help you, can take care of what you need to do. I have it. I'll entertain the child, or, I
Mm.
usually carry something with me in my purse, to help out, especially the little ones that are struggling.
Mm.
It takes only a few minutes.
Mm.
And if it makes me run behind for something else, it's not a big deal to me, because that little bit of engagement with especially a gifted person, or even touching the parent, giving them that little relief while they handle something at the airport or the grocery store, wherever, that was sending a message and loving on that family because they
Great.
needed it at the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Teresa. I thank you, Ella. Says my best program yet. I think there's a bit of a feedback from you, Teresa.
Mm.
A little bit of a feedback. I think maybe another system is on. But thank you so much, Beth. Yes, I see all your contributions. Thank you. I really do appreciate you. Guys, we are coming to the end of the session, and I must say, this is one of my favorite sessions that we've had. This really touches my heart. And thank you, Theresa, for the work that you do. Thank you. I cannot say thank you enough for what you're doing, giving up your time, giving up your resources, giving up your home, giving up everything that you have to support the specially people with special needs or people who are differently abled. It is such an honor to connect with you, with someone that has such a great heart. And thank you. So, for our viewers at home, for those of you who are going to see this on replay, now, I don't want you saying to me, Louisa, I don't have anyone with special needs in my home. Listen, go to the grocery store, you will find someone there. Community center, you will find someone there. In the schools, you find someone there. In your offices, on the road, you find them everywhere. Like Teresa said, if you do not have to park in the disabled parking slot, do not put your car in there. They need it because when they come, they have to look for the spot. They don't have the ability that you have to go back and forth looking for another spot. So just do the little that you can. You can. You might say, I don't have so much resources. What happened to the little one that you have? What happened to stretching out that hand of kindness when you see them? What happened to saying hello? What happened to saying good morning? What happened to even extending a hug if you have to? So I want us to leave this program and just take up all the tips that you've learned here today and use them. Use them. Step out today. Be intentional. Okay. Look out for these people. They are all over the place. And just be kind to them. I want to hear people say, it looks like we have some great people around the world who are just sharing kindness. That's what I want you to do. And put it on your page. Can't stop, won't stop until we reach out to everyone who needs kindness. And that's going to take a long time. So I need us to work together. I need us to be able to build a community of like-minded individuals. I need you to help me share this video today. A lot of people need to hear this message. We have shared so much great content. Don't keep me as your best kept secret. No, put it on your page. Put it on your business page. Put it on your personal page. Share the link with someone. Share it on WhatsApp. Okay? I want people to hear this message. This is the only way we can change the world. And I cannot do it alone. I cannot do it with Theresa alone. But we have to work together and hold our hands together and do this everywhere that we go. Yes, Beth, can't stop, won't stop. We will continue to spread the message of civility wherever we're given an opportunity to. We will continue to stretch out our hands and share kindness. We will continue to support the person next to us. We will continue to pay attention to the differently abled people. Show them some love. If you have to give them a hug, please do. Okay, please do. Do the little that you can will go a long way. Be responsible every single day that you wake up in the morning. Say to yourself, I, Louisa Akaiso, as I am stepping up today, I have decided to be good and kind to every differently abled person that I see on the road, in the store, in my school, in my workplace, wherever that I see them. I'm going to stretch out a hand of kindness to them. Thank you so much, Theresa. This means so much to me that you had to be here so early. It means so much to me and such a great message that everyone should get to hear this message. So for those of you who are watching this on replay, do the same thing and share this video wherever that you can. Together, we will be the change that we want to see in the world. Now, I have had a lot of messages from some of you and asking, well, how can I be part of what you do? Yes, we have training programs that are coming up. There's one here, right here in Virginia in the month of November, November 26th, right after Thanksgiving, because I want you to enjoy your turkey first. and we would have the training program. Okay, at the end of the year, we will be in Dubai. We're also going to be in Nigeria and in Ghana. And so send me an email at Louisa at the civilityacademy.com. It's Louisa at the civilityacademy.com. And I'll be happy to share with you any programs that we have. It looks like we have a feedback from you, Theresa. We'll be happy to share with you any programs that we have and any free resources that we have. Another thing that I want to mention is that we have been collecting a lot of food and resources from people who are just contributing to the show. I want to say thank you so much. So if you're in the DMV area and you have any individuals or organizations or anyone around you that you think would need some of the food that we have, we're happy to share it. Okay. So just send me an email at Louisa at the civilityacademy.com and I will be happy to get it to you. So thank you so much for being here. I'm not sure what's going on with our system, but we're right done. And Theresa, thank you and have a wonderful day.
You too.
See you
Thank
guys
you.
again next week, Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Bye for now.